Little Nell was a collier's daughter, innocent, sweet, 17. And I'll tell you the story of Nellie, and I'll try and keep it clean. Little Nell was a collier's daughter with a coal black daddy so fine. At the end of the day, to the theatre he'd stray to forget the dark toil of the mine. One day he was there with some of the lads, and they started to argue a bit. Well, it wasn't his shift, but they gave him a lift, and the collier went down to the pit. But years have rolled on since it happened. Time soothed the widow's pain, till one day she met with a diver, and the girl's mother married again. Little Nell was a diver's daughter. He used to gun under the ships. He would walk on the bed of the ocean, and he trod on the fishes and chips. The mother and he, they could never agree. They would argue for hours and hours. One day he called her a dog, and she up with his clog, and next came a coach filled with flowers. But years have rolled on since it happened. Time soothed the widow's pain, till one day she met with an engineer, and the girl's mother married again. Little Nell was an engineer's daughter. She would take him his midday meal. She was standing talking to her dad one day when his boat got caught in the wheel. He was whipped from the ground. He was whirled round, and Nellie started shrieking. He came down with a crack on the back of his back, and his oil can started leaking. Years have rolled on since it happened. Time soothed the widow's pain, till one day she met with a plumber, and the girl's mother married again. Little Nell was a plumber's daughter. Little Nell was a plumber's lass. She ran like mad to fetch her dad when she smelt the escape of gas. Dad struck a match. He went pelting upstairs, singing Granny's song at twilight. There was a hell of a crack, and Dad came back through the next door neighbour's skylight. But years have rolled on since it happened, but you've heard all that before. Now Nell, she fell in love with a sailor, and she married that jolly Jack Tar. He was eyes of blue, he was 72, but you know what sailors are. He had a son called John, who was 21, and as strange as I'm going to say, he fell in love with Nell's mother, and he married her the very next day. And so now Nellie becomes her own mother, and her father becomes her own son, and her sister's first child is her daughter-in-law, and her granny's a son of a gun.